I'm going to read part of an article from this Will to Power magazine from 1935, April 15th, 1935. And this was Balder von Schirach's magazine he was the head of the Hitler Youth, and I believe this was their uh, magazine. And so it's titled Willpower, Leaders of National Socialist Virtues. So he had this guy, I believe, Gottfried Nieb, if I pronounced that properly. If I didn't, sorry, write this article. And you can pause and read the whole article. I'm not going to read the entire thing. It's 3 pages. I have the German original on the left and the Google English translation on the right. But I want to read a couple of things and then the very end because I think this is important. Remember, this is one of the highest leaders in the National Socialist Party. This is after they came to power. So, well, no, well, his magazine. This is Balder von Schirach's magazine, and he's allowing this to be written. So it's titled "Positive Christianity," and he wrote, perhaps it is currently impossible to say more about this vast array of questions concerning National Socialism and Christianity than a personal opinion. But shouldn't such a view also be of importance and value as long as it is honest and clear? We have recently experienced so much error and confusion, strife and conflict, misunderstanding and fear of recognition that we have seen how desperately necessary it is to create clear fronts. Certainly, all questions of religion are a hot potato for political people, but things would be dire for us if we feared a hot potato. So, and it said, even in its early days, National Socialism mustered the courage to take a stand. Quote, the party as such represents the standpoint of positive Christianity without committing itself to a particular confession, right? So they're saying National Socialism, the National Socialist Party, is Christian. so, so anyway, you can pause and read all this. I think I just want to jump to the end. Yeah, so you can pause and read all that. Well, maybe I'll start maybe on the bottom. I'll say, and just as the earthly and the supernatural combine to form a unity, so human order and belief in the supernatural, politics, and religion are mutually indispensable in the deepest sense. Shouldn't we also draw conclusions from this about the relationship between Christianity and National Socialism? Uh, to to avoid this, right, but to avoid misunderstandings, it should be stated clearly National Socialism is a worldview, the National Socialist view of the world. But there are things that are not of this world. Therefore, religion is excluded from politics, but really only religion. Only the supernaturally great thing that moves the world and approaches every fighter for decision at some point. Only genuine religion and nothing else that disguises itself with this name. This is important, right? National Socialism affirms Christianity. And only the National Socialist will truly understand the Christian spirit, again, as a spirit of struggle and commitment, capable of generating living forces and proud events, great men and historic deeds, and thus is anything but a weak degeneration of the human race, and thus is anything but a weak degeneration of the human race, right? So, because the pagans like to say, well, a Christian spirit or Christianity has destroyed Europe or the human race or whatever. But here he's saying that the exact opposite. It's not true. So I'll read that again because I like that quote. National Socialism affirms Christianity, and only the National Socialist will truly understand the Christian spirit again as a spirit of struggle and commitment, capable of generating living forces and proud events, great men and historic deeds, and thus is anything but a weak degeneration of the human race. Let us not forget how one of the most powerful and profound men on earth, Friedrich Nietzsche, struggled for this. Let us not make it too easy for ourselves with our rejection, nor too comfortable with our affirmation. Let us, especially as National Socialists, be mindful that a doctrine would not have determined 2 millennia if at its beginning there had not stood a magnificent, combative, heroic personality, right? Jesus or Christ, ready for the final stand. National Socialism, however, does not affirm Christianity absolutely, whether it appears as a church or as a faith in the political or religious sphere. It affirms it only when it is positive, when it maintains its limits within itself and vis-a-vis political power, and as has been shown, right? So not when it's being used by the churches for subversive reasons, which is exactly what Hitler and the National Socialists stated over and over and over again, that they weren't against Christianity. They weren't even really against the churches. They were against the subversions or subversives within the church who were using Christianity as a divide and perverting its message. So, for us, positive Christianity is in the church. Well, that contradicts what the pagans claim, which gives support to the people, right? For us, positive Christianity is in the church, right? The Christian churches, which gives support to the people. Positive Christianity is for us the faith that creates values for the people. Wow. Which leads them to the highest heights of their being and helps them to fulfill their mission in this world and beyond. So, yeah, another source documentation, right? A source document from 1935. We can prove this existed back then. Baldur von Schirach, the head of the Hitler Youth, his newspaper or magazine, and this is what was written in it because they were all Christian. National Socialists and Hitler were Christians. So yeah, anyway, I thought this was a pretty good little write up this guy did, and yeah, that's all I had. So.